Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming, and in this video I'm going to show you guys some stuff that I got in on consignment, as well as talk about Collecticon for a few minutes. Went out there on Saturday, picked up a few things. My very first pickup wasn't Pokemon, it was Yu-Gi-Oh! If you guys have watched my previous Collecticons, you know that I have a tendency to go out there to try to find some Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff. And the first one that I picked up was at Ruxin's table, Mask of the Accursed. And so I had some friends over the Friday before. I expected a lot of them to be there. Usually there are people that vend at the Collecticon in Charlotte, but this year it was the Yu-Gi-Oh guys. That was pretty much it. There was Cam. He was with Golden, so he was at a table. But I went through the whole place. I looked at every aisle, every table, trying to find somebody, and I didn't find anyone. But as I was going through the tables, I was scoping out who the sellers were. I was trying to see if there was anything that might catch my eye, and so I did make some Pokemon purchases, but I'm gonna save the biggest one for last. It was actually my first Pokemon purchase because I didn't think I was gonna buy anything, but also from Ruxin, I picked up this box here, Dark Revelation. I know. Generally, if you guys follow me, I don't collect anything that's not really this post. Once they started the EN series, but I like the Dark Revelation sets because some of these have like some of those retro cards in there, and it's kind of fun to open up. So in general, a lot of these boxes, they're not that bad. They're still pretty cheap when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! But there were some other stuff I picked up there. Picked up some stuff from Vintage Yu-Gi-Oh! Now I did complete my Metal Raiders set. This is when he was here on Friday. So I bought the Solemn Judgment. I bought, I think, maybe Spellbinding Circle. But these I wanted to work a deal on because I think one of these was on eBay for $950. So I bought this one for $900. And then the most recent sale on this one was at $300. So I bought this for $300. And so I think they were pretty fair prices. And I can add these to my sets. Continue working on the pre-EN, which when I'm talking about EN, I'm talking about that's where they started sticking English right here. This says AST-073. Well, once you get to a certain set, it's like -EN for the language, I guess, and then it has the number. So I collect all the sets prior to them doing that. I did pick up one of these. I love Primal Groudon. This is from Primal Clash. I like this better than the gold one. I didn't pay $150. I think I paid $70 on this guy. He's in decent shape. Definitely perfect for a binder. You can see he's got a lip right there, a little bit of whitening, some damage down here. So he's probably between like a light play and a mod play. So that was cool. That was more of like a nostalgic pickup for me. I got this from Kai. He was priced right at the market for the Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX, and because I was using up a lot of his table space for a reason, I went ahead and just bought this right at the sticker. He was the only guy that was here, I think, last year that had a table, and I didn't invite him. I'm sorry, Kai. I didn't mean to do that to you, Dylan. You are always welcome here, just so you know that, and I hope you did really well at the con. And then I picked this up at a table for $8,600. I didn't negotiate on this one. This was actually like a deal closer for something else that I was doing. And you can see it right here. Got that Rocket Snorlax EX. Very popular as of late, this guy. Especially the PSA 10s. They've been running up really high. But I'm going to show you the consignment first, and then I'm going to show you the Collecticon big purchase that I made. And I think I got wrecked on it. So the consignment that I have in is mostly base first edition PSA 10s, but also he sent in this right here. Cool. There's a Venusaur inside of this, and it's very likely not PSA 10 worthy. I've opened up over 40 of these before and got 0 10s. Never graded one myself. Super low pop. Very tough card to get a 10. It's likely got some impression marks. You can see right here. This right here. So I think it comes from that, or just in general, this is like a flimsy insert thing, but this used to come in Nintendo Power. You could rip it out right here, and then when you open it up, you actually get that Venusaur, or it might have been attached a different way. I thought it was attached right there, but it's been so long, I'm not even sure if it was attached sideways or by where I said it was. But just to give you guys an idea of this first edition base set stuff, these should be going up to auction. Probably they'll likely be 10-day auctions starting around Thursday. But yeah, got Electrode, Pidgeotto, Charmeleon. You know, it's not every non-holo, but it's going to be, I think, about maybe shy of 20 cards, about 75% of the original base set in first edition in a 10. You got some big name cards in here. So if you're looking to complete your set, maybe you can pick some up at auction. Bulbasaur, big boy. Charmander, another big one. Yeah, and so forth. And it goes through the trainers. And so I'm curious to see where some of this stuff has moved to. I sold my set a long time ago. All right, so I approached the table and they had top loaders laid out like this. And it was about 3 feet wide. There's only one card in each one of these top loaders. And it was this guy right here. This is a Umbreon, which I still think that's a moon, so I'm going to say Umbreon 2.0. It might be a sun, who knows? But I think it's actually a moon. Let me know in the comments if you think this is a moon or if you think this is a sun. But it's nicknamed the Umbreon. And so I started looking at them through the top loaders, and so you can see these are a little scratched, little old. And I was mainly looking for centering because if you look on the back side, they look pretty clean. You know, it's like, you know, usually if you see something, there's a white dot there, so that's on the sleeve. But usually you can kind of see stuff, you know, through here, or it'll start popping up. And so I made 3 stacks. I made a stack of, hey, I think these might grade PSA 10, or they have a PSA 10 shot. There was 28 of those. Then there was another stack of, you know, maybe these will do okay, 7, 8, 9, you know, that kind of thing. And then there was a stack where it's like, these are just too far off center. I don't think they're going to have a shot. But, I mean, look at this. Umbreon. And you know, these look super great on the front. And so I started working a deal. Now in this place, I'm gonna say the lighting wasn't that great, but what I should have done, I should have took them out of these top loaders and actually examined these cards a little bit better, because a lot of these have this issue. Let me show you. See that right there? Those little white dots. That's from like texture from where you can see it all through here and up here. Where like this sheet was likely laid onto another sheet and it pulled the texture from the other side, or the texture when it was laid on here it just wasn't quite dry yet or something, and it likely pulled off some of the color from the back side of the card. So it's not something that you can just like, oh, that's just extra white, you know, sometimes that you can just wipe off of the card like we see in Jungle. No, this is pretty much stuck there. And this was something that I had never seen before. And so I was also skeptical. Hey, I need to look at these cards, make sure that I don't think that they were stolen. And he was pretty chill about it. We talked. He had so many things there. He was like, no, I just pick them up at shows here and there. I've got a lot of this stuff. And, you know, he said he was willing to work a deal. We kind of went back and forth. About half of them I paid like a moderate to light play price, and then of course I paid up a little bit more for the ones that I thought were gradable, and we made a deal. But I was kind of hoping that I thought that there were going to be more of these that were gradable. Well, I get back home and I actually pull them out of the top loaders, and I see that it is not the case. Now, he'd said he hadn't like pulled out the gradable ones. There weren't ones in here he knew that were dense. So, but this is my fault. Like, I'm the one buying the card, so I should look. But like, you come in here, like you can see like the surface of this guy right here. I mean, it's tore up. Like, this is a stack of cards that I believe are all sub PSA 5. Like, at first it looks good, and then you see like where the surface is. That's a pretty big dent there. And you know, this stack here, these are all ones that just have something wrong where the surface is actually like kind of torn a little bit. These all right here, guess how many 10s I think I found in the whole stack? 0. I don't think there's a single 10 in here. So they were picked through pretty good, which I should have known better. Like, people do that, right? I mean, you have a card that can go potentially from, say, 1,500 raw mint to $5,000 plus PSA 10. Of course, you're going to be looking at it. And if you have this many cards coming in, you got to optimize your stuff. You got to optimize your tables. But you know, I got a little happy, a little over zealous when I saw a stack like this. Let me see if I can zoom out. And these were in top loaders, so they were spread out even further. But like all of these Umbreons. Oh, going back to like the whole theft thing, something else that points to the fact that I don't think that these were stolen. there's a pretty wide range of condition, as well as a pretty wide range of centering. So I don't think this is something that was just pulled out of a stack and they were trying to move it quickly. These have all had different types of play applied to them. Some of them have scratches, some of the centering's off, some of them have, have the small tears. Some of them have those issues with like the print on the bottom of it. Some of it even went up through the sides, but still really cool to see. I think I've lost money on this, but maybe if I hold them long enough, or if I get lucky with some of the grades, maybe I can break even or do a little bit better. But regardless, still really cool to see. I've never seen this many Umbreons in one place before. The guy said he had more. And as crazy as this is, I'm not even closed off to buying more of these things. However, I would definitely want to take a closer look at the condition of them based off of what I could find, because these are all grades 5 through 9. I think I had 4 cards that I think would grade a 9, a lot of 8s, a lot of 7s, a lot of 6s, handful of 5s, and then all of these would have been sub PSA 5, I think, if I graded them. But we're going to see. I'm going to send a lot of them off just to see what happens. Sometimes I'm a little bit more strict than I think I am. Other times I feel like PSA is more strict than I would have been. But who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky and pull a few 10s out of here. If nothing else, I'll get them encapsulated and preserved and hopefully vaulted so that they're nice and safe and secure. But guys, I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the video. If you've ever seen this many Umbreons before, which I guess if you've been around to conventions, you probably have. But it was first time for me. This was the very first Pokemon purchase that I made, and it pretty much it was more money than I spent at probably all of the other Collecticons combined. But the wire went through this morning. I was glad he was able to accept that. And we'll just see. Like I said, I think he got the better end of the deal on this one. But sometimes you win them, sometimes you don't. And this was one of those cases where I was trusting that I could see the condition good enough through these top loaders when I couldn't. I should have pulled them out, should have looked at them a little bit closer. I don't know for sure that I could have seen everything that I need to see, especially right there, because it was pretty crowded. This was like 1, 2 o'clock on Saturday at Collecticon. So, I mean, there were people all around, had all these cards out, and pulling each card out individually to examine it. That would have took a long time for sure. But I tried to pounce on an opportunity when I saw it. And it might not have worked out this time, but it probably would have haunted me if I didn't. Because even though I saw plenty of cards there that were 6 figures, this right here, seeing this all at once, this was a unique thing for me. And they were in top loaders too, so it made it look even thicker and wider. I mean, it was just like huge stacks of them. But guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll try to have another one coming out very soon. Thanks.